Once upon a time, there was a philosopher named Immanuel Kant who had a particular view about happiness. Kant believed that happiness was not something that could be rationally determined, but rather something that was imagined or felt. This view was contrary to many other philosophers of his time who believed that happiness could be rationally calculated through reason and logic. One day, a young man named Tim approached Kant and asked him why he believed that happiness was not a rational concept. Kant replied, "Happiness is not an ideal of reason but of imagination. It is something that we feel, not something that we can calculate or determine through logic." Tim was confused by this answer and asked Kant to explain further. Kant then told Tim a story about a boy named John who was determined to find happiness. John believed that if he worked hard and made a lot of money, he would be happy. He spent years working long hours and saving his money, but he never found the happiness he was searching for. One day, John met an old man who told him, "Happiness is not something you can buy with money or achieve through hard work. It is something that you must feel from within." John was puzzled by this answer and asked the old man how he could feel happy without reason or logic. The old man replied, "Happiness is an emotion that we experience when we are content with our lives. It is not something that can be determined through reason alone. It is something that we must imagine and feel from within." John realized that he had been searching for happiness in the wrong way all along and began to focus on cultivating contentment in his life instead. In the end, Tim understood Kant's view on happiness and realized that happiness is not something that can be rationally calculated, but rather something that we must feel from within. He learned that true happiness comes from being content with our lives and finding joy in the simple things.